In the expansive and sunlit conference room of Agri-Future Innovations, a leading company in agricultural technology, the discussion was focused and intense. Mark O'Neill, the company's chief agronomist, was going over the final details of a groundbreaking agricultural development initiative with Natalie Rivers, the head of sustainability programs. They were on the brink of launching a project that could revolutionize sustainable farming practices in rural communities across the country.
Natalie, this project has the potential to redefine agricultural practices in some of the most critical regions. We've worked hard to get to this point, but as we approach the launch, I'm concerned about the integration of our new technologies with traditional farming methods. What do you think is the biggest challenge we face in ensuring that these innovations are adopted effectively by the farmers?
The gap between traditional practices and modern technology is significant, Mark. I think the key challenge will be ensuring that farmers not only adopt these new methods, but also understand their long-term benefits. What's your perspective on the most crucial step we should take to facilitate this transition?
I believe it's essential that we focus on education and hands-on training. Without proper guidance, even the best technologies can go underutilized or misused. Question: Natalie, what do you think is the most important approach to ensure that farmers fully embrace and effectively use our new agricultural technologies? A. Providing extensive hands-on training sessions directly in the communities. B. Developing easy-to-use, intuitive technology that requires minimal training. C. Partnering with local agricultural leaders to champion the adoption of new practices.
Answer: A. Providing extensive, hands-on training sessions directly in the communities.
I'm convinced that hands-on training, option A, is crucial. It's not enough to just introduce new tools. We need to ensure that farmers are comfortable and confident in using them. Practical training sessions will help bridge the gap between theory and practice.
I agree, Mark. Farmers are much more likely to adopt new technologies if they see them in action and understand how they can benefit their daily work. Training in their own environment makes the transition smoother.
Exactly. By engaging directly with the farmers and demonstrating the effectiveness of these technologies, we can build trust and encourage widespread adoption.
They explored different strategies for implementing training programs, including collaborating with local agricultural schools and using demonstration plots where farmers could see the benefits firsthand. Natalie emphasized the importance of making these sessions as accessible and practical as possible to ensure high participation and engagement.
While training is a vital first step, we also need to consider the economic realities these farmers face. If they can't see an immediate return on their investment, even the most promising innovations might be disregarded. How do you think we should address this challenge? Question: What do you think is the best way to ensure that our innovations are both affordable and provide a clear economic benefit to the farmers? A. Offering subsidies or financial incentives to offset initial costs. B. implementing a phased approach where farmers can gradually integrate new technologies. C. Creating cooperative models where farmers share resources and reduce individual costs.
Answer. C. Creating cooperative models where farmers share resources and reduce individual costs.
I believe that fostering cooperative models, option C, could be the most effective strategy. By pooling resources, farmers can reduce the financial burden of adopting new technologies, making it more accessible and sustainable in the long run.
That's a smart approach, Mark. Cooperatives also promote a sense of community and shared responsibility, which can lead to more consistent and widespread adoption of new practices.
It's a way to spread the risk and the reward, allowing farmers to see the benefits without the heavy upfront costs that might otherwise discourage them.
They discussed the potential for establishing agricultural cooperatives, which would enable farmers to collectively invest in new technologies, share best practices, and support each other in the adoption process. Natalie pointed out that this approach could also lead to stronger community ties and more resilient local economies.
We've covered training and economic accessibility, but there's another critical aspect we can't overlook: sustainability. These new practices must not only improve yields, but also protect the environment. What's your perspective on how we can ensure that our technologies contribute to long-term environmental sustainability? Question: how do you think we should integrate environmental sustainability into our agricultural development strategies? A. Prioritizing the use of renewable energy sources in our farming technologies. B. Developing practices that enhance soil health and reduce chemical use. C. Encouraging agroforestry and other biodiversity-friendly practices.
Answer. B. Developing practices that enhance soil health and reduce chemical use.
I think focusing on soil health and reducing chemical use, option B, is essential. Healthy soil is the foundation of sustainable agriculture, and by minimizing the reliance on harmful chemicals, we can ensure that our farming methods are better for the environment and for future generations.
I couldn't agree more, Mark. By improving soil health, we're not just boosting current yields, we're also preserving the land for the long term. Sustainable practices are key to maintaining the balance between productivity and environmental stewardship.
It's about creating a system that benefits both the farmers and the environment. If we can promote methods that enhance soil health naturally, we'll be setting up these communities for lasting success.
They delved into the development of organic farming practices, crop rotation, and the use of natural fertilizers that could improve soil health and reduce the dependency on synthetic chemicals. Natalie stressed that these practices not only align with environmental goals but also help create a more resilient agricultural system.
Lastly, as we prepare to roll out this project, we need to think about how we'll measure success. What do you think are the key indicators we should focus on to ensure that our efforts are truly making a difference.
We should track both quantitative and qualitative outcomes. Yield improvements are important, but we also need to consider farmer satisfaction, environmental impact, and community well-being.
That's a comprehensive approach. By looking at the full picture, we can adjust our strategies to better meet the needs of the farmers and the environment.
Their conversation wrapped up with a shared understanding that success in agricultural development goes beyond just boosting production. It's about creating a sustainable, economically viable, and community-oriented farming system. They agreed to implement a robust monitoring and evaluation framework to ensure the project's long-term impact. As the late afternoon sun filtered through the windows, Mark and Natalie left the conference room with a clear vision for the future of agriculture, ready to plant the seeds of change that would lead to more sustainable and prosperous farming communities. Here are 5 key concepts related to the theme of seeds of change.
Hands-on training, providing practical, community-based training to ensure farmers can confidently adopt new technologies. Cooperative models, encouraging farmers to share resources and reduce costs through cooperative structures.
Sustainable practices, focusing on soil health and reducing chemical usage to ensure long-term environmental sustainability. Economic accessibility, making new technologies affordable and accessible by lowering financial barriers.
Comprehensive success metrics, measuring both the quantitative and qualitative impacts of agricultural innovations to ensure holistic development.